Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 5,000 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 5,000. Enjoy.
And just like that, they buy it. They eat it up. You pander to them, you thank them. I mean, really, people, I thought you were a little bit smarter than that. I mean, it's just so easy to say the name of the city. You cheer.
Hey, Stephanie,
you cheer. I mean, just come on.
Welcome to the A Show.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Justin Davis, along with Meelz. Meelz, what's poppin', man?
Can we be the end show this week?
The end show?
Can we be the end show this week?
Shout out to WWE social media team.
Ooh, immediately. I don't know if they believe it was a good idea when they sent it. You know what? It's not like it's a bad idea, but
it's not. It's just not the right.
The internet is a place where you could take any sort of idea and you could flip it. Like when Huffington Post said, we're going to do an interview with R. Kelly. Let's ask R. Kelly anything. Put your hashtag ask R. Kelly. And Twitter just went amok with it. That's something that could have easily driven off the side of a cliff and ended up terribly.
Yeah.
Especially called the End Show, which is hilarious.
It's like, did Nakamura, I don't remember in that promo if Nakamura actually said it was the end show.
Hey.
But then again, Nakamura, like sometimes you'll hear him and it'll, I'm not trying to like be disrespectful, but like sometimes you hear him and be like, did he say he drinks Seth or did he dunk Seth? Like I was like, if he did say end show, who knows? But anyway, welcome to the A Show. This is the A Show, not the end show. Don't let Meelz fool you. With Meelz and Justin, of course, we are literally, as we're recording this episode will come out on Thanksgiving Day for everyone that is eating. We actually debated. I hit up Meelz earlier this week, like, should we drop it on Friday? He was like, nah, no.
I don't like Friday. I don't like Friday drops. Fridays are too end of the week. It's already like everyone's on their Black Friday wave. Everyone's on their I'm not even trying to do anything wave. I feel like Thanksgiving's a good day. Do you remember the Colt Cabana CM Punk podcast had dropped on Thanksgiving night? I remember that specifically.
Yeah, it did.
So we're, following in their footsteps. That was a great moment in wrestling.
A little bit less to reveal this week.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess that would be it.
Yeah, we don't have as much to reveal, but we do have some things to talk about. Quite a few things to talk about this week. Very interesting week last week, and a very interesting follow up in a lot of ways from Sunday's Survivor Series show and the Survivor Series weekend as a whole. And we're going to get right into all of that on the show. But we're coming up on something really, really monumental, Meelz. It's our end of the year list. I think last year we were very much debating these lists last year.
Yeah. God. I mean, we had a list. You know what was crazy? It's just, I don't even think we had like a solid list of like, these are the 10 best matches. We just picked matches that were really good from the year. And then we did another episode of just like moments from the year.
Yeah, but like this year we've had a whole year of this show. We've had a whole year of matches we've just watched. And we have like we'll have a better grasp of like what to do this year. Cause like last year was just sort of like, I didn't really start taking notes of what I watched.
There wasn't really that many good matches last year. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you.
You're wasn't tripping.
No, like last year, there was 3 amazing matches from New Japan. There were a couple WWE matches, but it wasn't like, to me, if you were making a top 20 list last year, after like maybe like 11, you were having trouble. Like, well, maybe this is good and maybe that is good. Don't get me wrong. People are having great matches. I don't think there was any notable matches from like 2017 besides, you know, Kenny versus
Kenny and Okada.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
No, there are a lot of them. I think I pretty much have like my top 5 set. I don't know if there's going to be
5. Yeah, we had 5, but we didn't have much more than that. But I think this year we have way more to offer from. I mean, just from the men, the women, the tag teams, the NXTs, the New Japans, the WWEs, the everything outside of that, G1s, everything like that. We just have so much to offer this year.
Yeah, and I mean, we watched a fair share. I've watched a lot of stuff, and
you watch more than me, of course.
I've missed, and surprisingly missed a lot of stuff too. So I'm going to be catching up for the next couple of weeks on matches that I haven't watched. A lot of people ask me, Justin, how do you find time to watch so much wrestling? There are weeks like this when I am out of town in Virginia, having nothing to do, and
how's that going?
Oh man, it's great. I'm just chilling. I'm just resting. It feels good to rest, you know?
That's good. Take it easy, bro.
Yeah, I feel like I've just been running for so long. I haven't even actually come home. So now it's like, cool. I don't have anything like pressing to do. I don't have anyone like breathing down my neck. So we're just able to rest. And that's why, you know, actually this is the second time this year me and you have been able to do a show on East Coast time. We're on the same time zone today.
Woo!
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank God.
We sacrificed so much to do this show.
Man.
And it is, you know, I don't regret it. Of course, obviously we don't regret it, but it's so amazing how this show is done every single week and no one even knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
They should do a documentary on this.
We just deliver, bro. We just deliver. That's all that we do. And thank you to everyone who listens thus far.
Absolutely. Actually, before we get into Nose Bar, Meelz, are you making your world famous chicken this year?
Oh, you know what? I may have to actually, because last year my mom was out.
Went on vacation.
She went on vacation during Thanksgiving. Obviously did not care about the well-being of her well into her 20s children. This year she's working, so I might still have to do it. Who knows? I don't have the ingredients. Obviously, I have not thought about it. But I might.
You don't have long.
I don't have long. I have literally 24 hours. I'm supposed to go to the supermarket. I know the supermarket is about to be bonkers right now. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's insane.
You should do like a supermarket market chronicles, because that's going to be real interesting to see. I don't really know how supermarkets in New York work.
Probably the same as LA. I don't know.
Nah, it has to be way more packed.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't, but it's like, I feel like LA would be more packed. How many supermarkets you feel like you have? Why are we talking about this? How many supermarkets?
We have a
lot too.
But here's the thing. We have a lot of them. And also, of course, we're going to talk about this. This is like a very uneventful week of shows. So yeah, we got time to talk about it.
Sure.
But also, we have a lot. Like I could count like a Vaughn's, a Ralph's, and a, what's the third one in LA? There's a Vaughn's, Ralph's, but I know this for a fact. Vaughn's, Ralph's, Walmart, third one. That's all around me. Like the green Walmart though.
We do not have Walmart. We do not have Walmart in New York City. Pretty much all the supermarkets are just like very northeast chains. We have Seatown, Western Beef.
What?
I'm talking about hood supermarkets, Associated, if that still exists.
All like 150 of our New York listeners are loving this right now.
Listen,
I feel like we only have New York listeners.
I mean, if you live in an area that is so privileged, but there's more of these areas to have a Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. Those things 100% do exist. Those I'm assuming are bananas, BANANAS.
Oh yes, yeah.
I'm assuming those because just on a regular day, they're insane. Thanksgiving, everyone's buying their gluten-free turkey with no, carcinage. I don't know, whatever. Everyone's buying their like incredible turkeys, which is I'm not buying a turkey this year. I'm against turkeys on Thanksgiving.
I don't like turkeys. Turkeys are too dry for me.
It's too dry, and everyone's like, no, but it depends how you make it. It's gonna be dry the next day if it's not dry the first day.
Bitch, where's the meat?
Yeah, it's gonna be dry. Like, don't tell me this. Like, if it's not dry today, it'll be dry tomorrow, sitting in the fridge, drying. Like, it's not that great. It's not a great. But
and pardon me for saying that we only have fans in New York. Actually, if you from anywhere, check in with us after this episode comes out. Tell us where you're from. If you listen to the A Show, I actually always wanted to know like where people listen to the show at, and who they pass it to in their neighborhoods and in their environment.
Listen, tell the streets, man. Come on,
tell the streets. We want to know what the streets is saying about the A Show.
Hell yeah,
for sure. But let's get into No Holds Barred for the week post Survivor Series hangover. Survivor Series is going to be in Chicago next year, and it's going to be on Thanksgiving weekend next year, which is even more crazy.
The weekend after Thanksgiving or the weekend before Thanksgiving?
I think the weekend of it.
Thanksgiving isn't on a weekend.
The weekend of it.
Thanksgiving weekend. Okay.
Like right. I believe.
I guess it's after the Thursday of Thanksgiving.
It's after the Thursday. Yes, it's that weekend, Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, it's gonna be real interesting. Actually, it might be an advantage because a lot of people are going to be off, so there's going to be a lot more people that could go to the Monday Night Raw.
But traveling for Thanksgiving,
people will do it. People will do it. They'll do it.
Traveling is nah. I don't.
I don't know about like Chicago. It's gonna be like so cold, but like I hate cold areas altogether. Like WrestleMania is. Actually, you want to talk about your WrestleMania story from last week?
Oh, fuck is this? Oh my god. You know what? I pulled up a list of where our listeners are from. I'll share that a little bit later. Okay. But WrestleMania. Whew. I went to buy WrestleMania tickets. Last week, didn't even just start Friday. It started Wednesday. Got past many codes to buy WrestleMania tickets. I don't know if I probably turned them down because I was just like, I don't like these seats. I'm a seat guy. I'm a guy who likes to know that I'm going to see the show from where I'm sitting. I'm not trying to sit with any obstruction. I'm not trying to sit too far from the ring. I'm very particular about my seats. It's literally why every time I go to NXT with Carlos, I pick out the seats because I'm sure he doesn't give a fuck. I 100% give a fuck. If it's a house show, I don't give a fuck. But I would do. So I was like, I'll wait for the general sale on Friday. I was supposed to pick up, a couple tickets.
For myself and one of our RWC members, Jamal.
Shout out to Jamal. I was supposed to pick out tickets. Whew, had the worst experience of my life.
And I felt helpless because I was literally in a car on the way home. So I had like no service because, when you're driving through the trees in like from Virginia to DC, your service drops. And I tried to get on and I'm not even going to try.
1 hour of me on the Ticketmaster website trying to check out tickets. They're already gone. Trying to take out tickets. They're already gone. And I'm like, why are they still here? Why are they still here if they're gone? Trying to check out tickets. They're already gone. The only ones that are left are way more than I pay for, which I don't love WrestleMania $700 worth. I just don't.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, I just don't. So it was a very frustrating time. Also, it didn't help that I was like, you know what? If I don't get the WrestleMania tickets, I'll get 2 pairs of sneakers the following day. And then lost the sneakers raffle for the rookie of the year.
Yeah.
And then for some reason, the Union Ones thing would not accept my card information. They just didn't. It's very.
That was a mess. That was a mess.
It was very triggering for me, for someone who has good credit, for something to say like, we don't accept your card, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, excuse me, I got a new card. I'm just letting you know, I have a new card now. Because it's very triggering as someone from the hood, who has prided themselves on having good to, excellent credit, being turned away like that. So my weekend, I just said, you know what? I got to throw my card out. It's not working out. It's just not.
Wow. It's not. It wasn't your card. They gave me the same thing. I sat there. I ended up getting the shoes, 2 pairs of the shoes.
Lucky you. 45
minutes in on 2 different tabs too, which is it's impossible. So don't snitch on me. Whoever's listening to this, don't snitch on me. But yeah, like
I want the shoes.
They're restocking.
I hope so. I just, what?
They are. The announcement happened. They're restocking on the 24th, I believe.
I'll just say this. I'll be prepared.
Be a little more prepared than you were on Saturday.
I was prepared. I had my card, and I have now memorized my card number for the first time ever in my life. That's from how many times I punched that shit in.
Okay. Let's get into the holds barred now. Of course, we're a little bit lax. It's Thanksgiving weekend, so sorry.
Relax. Yeah.
For the banter. You rarely get this much banter from us. You guys need to get more banter like this from us. First up on no holds barred, Braun Strowman is allegedly or apparently reportedly. That's 3 different things that mean 3 different things, and it could mean 3 different things.
Relax.
It's my journalist in me. He's reportedly having to undergo surgery for his elbow, and this could have him off of the TLC card, which they've already booked him for as of this Monday's Raw against Baron Corbin.
They didn't have to book him for the match.
They didn't have to. And the thing is, they feel as though, according to a report, they feel as though it's touch and go, where it's like he could or he couldn't. But my thing is this: remember last year he got injured, and they tried to work through it with a bunch of smoke and mirrors. I don't think that works this time, because Baron Corbin is someone who at least needs a lot more for that match to not be completely terrible. I'd say just leave him off. I don't know if he's getting surgery. He shouldn't be coming back in 3 weeks anyway.
Man.
That's just ridiculous.
They don't have to have this match. They could literally have Kurt Angle in the match. Kurt Angle is doing nothing.
I think it probably will be him, just like last year at TLC when he had to wrestle with the Shield.
Yeah, I would hope so, because Kurt Angle's really doing nothing. To me, it's a no-brainer having Kurt versus Corbin. I don't think we need to save that for any type of big show. I'm personally hoping it's not like we're doing this at WrestleMania. I don't need it at WrestleMania. I don't need Kurt Angle wrestling a Baron Corbin at WrestleMania. Just say that right now. So I hope we get that match. But Braun Strowman being injured, it's unfortunate, especially comes in a certain time where a lot of people are working through injuries. A lot of people have been working through the WrestleMania season, the SummerSlam season. The post-SummerSlam season has been especially rough this year, considering they've been flying across the country, across the world, across the continent. Like, essentially, they've been traveling and they're beat up, banged up. I mean, one would think,
they're saying that Braun has 2 bad knees that he's working on right now. And if that's the case, sit him out.
I bet. He's a giant. All these giants have terrible knees. Big Show had bad knees. Kane, bad knees. Undertaker, bad hip, bad knees. Like, there has to be some sort of, yes, giants can definitely work, but there has to be some sort of, like, not procedure, but the way you sort of work them. They can't work as grueling of a style as someone like a Finn Balor or I was about to say Rey Mysterio, but I wouldn't even.
Rey Mysterio on some other shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't even do that. So you gotta treat them a little bit different. Maybe Braun Strowman is a special kind of event that happens. I mean, you have Drew McIntyre at this point, so I don't even know why they're going with Braun Strowman.
Yeah, but I mean, it's heel versus heel, and I don't think Drew would have, unless he needs like a title shot. I don't know why he would go against Baron, but I mean, it's looking dire, and I think, again, with all of these injuries, you look at the way that they even book like the 6-man match with the faces. Like those are the people they consider their top faces outside of like, obviously Seth, who is in his own orbit right now with Dean, but it's like, this really does leave a wide open space for Finn Balor. There's like literally the only pure face on the show.
I think this definitely opens the opportunity for Finn Balor. I'm sure they're hoping Braun Strowman won't be out long, but I hope this definitely presents an opportunity for Finn Balor. It sucks at least like 4 people have to get injured for him to even get a whiff of a shot. But it's something that, quite honestly, they should just not just accept, but just like try it out. Like, come on, like it's going to work. So I don't understand why they haven't done it yet.
Exactly. Moving on. Have you heard about this All Elite promotion that has been picking up steam?
I have not. Tell me about it.
So apparently there has been a new trademark set for All Elite Wrestling that has been filed. It's based out of Florida with a registered address to TIAA Bank Field, which is the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Fightful.com, shout out to Sean Ross Sapp, reported that this could potentially be a new wrestling promotion that is run by them. But there's also rumors that it could be the Jim Ross, Chris Jericho promotion that we heard about a couple of weeks ago that we were talking about on the show. So, I mean, this promotion is going to be backed by the Jaguars co-owner. Members of the Elite, like Cody and the Bucks, are said to be on board with it. And it's supposed to be like the biggest independent wrestling federation out. So, what do you think, Meelz? You think this is a good idea?
What would take you to watch a new promotion?
A lot
in the United States.
No, don't even finish it. A lot. There's so much already.
There's a lot out there. To me, a lot of the United States, talent has already been poached. And if they aren't, they're already working every other promotion ever. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you're not going to see them in ROH. It's not like, do we need any more promotions where we're going to see Cody and the Bucks? Like, again, we see them in New Japan. We see them in ROH. We see them. I mean, I'm sure he's wrestled for Evolve. He's wrestled everywhere. Like, do we need another promotion headed by Cody Rhodes and the Bucks? Like, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But it would take a lot. There's no, to me, buzzing. Like, they would have to create, essentially, a whole roster of new stars out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And here's the thing. Even if this promotion is billed as this is the exclusive, this is the only place you'll see the Bucks and Kenny and whoever the fuck, who are they going to face? Who are they going to face?
I have no idea.
All it takes is Paul calling and saying, "Hey, y'all want to come over here to NXT, man? Fuck all that shit."
Yeah,
and they're gone. So they're gonna be wrestling each other. Like, I don't know. Like, I can't for the life of me muster any excitement for a promotion run by Chris fucking Jericho and Jim Ross. What's the women's division gonna be?
Yeah.
What's that going to be?
Oh my God.
It's going to be a bunch of white dudes in this promotion. I'm good.
I'm very good. I don't know. Yeah. I don't see any, there's really no country for a new promotion currently. I don't think in terms of that, there's no real stars to create. You would have to really recreate a lot of stars, and you would have to borrow a lot from the past as well, because those are stars that are already established. But it's kind of crazy. Yeah. I'm not excited for it. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, they can have it.
They can have it.
Let's see how it goes.
They can have that shit. Another thing that might be a little bit more worrying and concerning, it's being reported, and through a lot of sources, I got this from Mike Johnson. Alexa Bliss is allegedly still not cleared, and she is being thought of as being the permanent GM of Monday Night Raw when Baron Corbin, obviously he's going to lose. He's going to probably lose at TLC, but she's being considered to be the permanent GM of the Raw brand moving forward in 2019. They're saying that the concussion symptoms that she suffered a couple of weeks ago, actually a couple of months ago at this point, have not gotten better, and it's just not looking good for Alexa.
Damn. I mean,
and this is stemming from, Alexa this year has had a very bad kind of injury stretch. I mean, she did go through that one large stretch earlier. I think it was in the summertime where she just wasn't on TV at all, or not on TV, but she just wasn't wrestling at all, even on house shows. And I mean, obviously she had no type of physical altercations at all. The Survivor Series, there's nothing. I mean, they've pretty much moved on storyline wise as far as like people actually wanting to wrestle her. Like they've just moved on from that altogether, and it's looking like they have winded her down quietly over the past couple of weeks.
It's interesting to see because her role right now. I mean, originally she was captain of the Survivor Series team. She's kind of I don't quite know what her role is currently outside of speaking during matches. But you know what? I'm not opposed to her being the general manager of Raw. I think she is someone. I think she's a character in the WWE.
How is this different from Paige?
Well, all right. Because no. Bliss is like Bliss. People actually generally hate Alexa Bliss. Like Paige is like the cool GM, like the cool.
But no, this is before you. No. This is before that. You said you, and to be fair, you walked back those comments since then. But you said in the beginning, you said, we didn't get a chance to meet to Miss Paige, and Alexa is literally just getting into the role, and she'll probably just be in the role like as soon as January starts. You know what I'm saying? Like, how is it different?
It is different.
Moving on.
Because first of all, let me tell you why it's different. Because I felt like Paige, the difference between their injuries, I feel like Paige's one was just like she'll never be. It's very like detrimental for her to just even be in the ring again. And I think she's young and I think she has a lot to still do in her life. I don't think she needs to necessarily become a wrestler. She was 23, 24 when she had to essentially retire from the ring. She has her whole life in front of her. Alexa Bliss, I think she can still contribute in a sense. I think because she's such a very character-driven person, whereas Paige was a lot more physical. Paige was in the ring. I've been wrestling since I was 14 years old. I had my first match in the wound type of deal. Like, it's that sort of thing. I do think that Alexa Bliss has always, her strongest point has not been in ring, as everyone says. Her strongest point has always been the character-wise. So that's why I think she could contribute as a GM to Raw, and I think it actually is a good idea. I'm not fully opposed to it. I'm only not fully opposed to it because I think she will do a good job at it. Paige, I was just like, I wasn't really with it, but she's done an amazing job since.
All right, I concede that argument. Lastly, on this part of No Holds Barred, John Cena is set to return at a number of fucking dates next year. And starting at MSG on the 26th, a show I think you're going to be going to, Meelz, are you not?
I'm gonna see. Yeah, I might as well. I'm not going to any other fucking show. So
he's working a whole week for the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th of December, which is insanity considering his schedule. And these are shows in New York, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Tampa, Florida. Then he comes back on January 4th. He's going to be working Raw on the 7th of January in Orlando. Do you think this is like the start of like something that he'll just going to come back?
Yeah, I think this would be the start of crazy John Cena program that we got like last year when he was yelling at the Undertaker every week. But yeah, I think he'll be back. The weirdest thing is that tattoo. Ugh, my God. He is too old for that tattoo.
What is it? What is that tattoo?
It's like, let's see.
It's like an eagle or some shit, right?
It's either way. It's like you're like. It's too late for tattoos. It's too late for you for tattoos.
Isn't he 41? He's like 41, right?
It's too late. Not that it's like it's never too late to get tattoos, but when you're John Cena, it's a little bit too late to get tattoos.
It's always like big and ugly and gaudy, like Jericho.
It's ugly. It says Ghost on it. I don't know what else is on it. It definitely says Ghost. I'm hoping it's like part of a film, and he's just
it's not. It's definitely part of his life. It's definitely part of his life.
This era of John Cena, I am not with. But
you think he's doing drugs?
No,
I just had to bring that up. You think he's doing drugs? You think he's smoking? Think he's smoking dope?
I think even if he was, who's going to check him? Like, he's John Cena. If he smokes a little pot every now and then, I'm sure that's what Vince says in the media. He smoke a little pot now and then, like nothing's wrong with that, right?
What if you're doing some dope? What if you're doing some real dope, like some coke? You think he's doing that now? John Cena just seems like, to me, he got the drug addict vibe right now.
It's the hair. It's the hair and the body and the lack of like. He's not in like John Cena mode. Like he's not in a working mode. He's kind of like in this different sort of. It's like
single dad John Cena is wild.
It's like an alternate universe John Cena. That's how it literally feels like to me. It's like, God, is this how he is in real life? Is this how he really acts?
But you just said that you thought you would want to hang out with him though.
When I said that,
I think you said it literally last week.
I said I would want to hang out with John Cena.
Yeah, you said he sounds cool or something like that. I think it was you said you.
Who the hell said that? I think he sounds cool.
It's so cool to hang out with. Yeah,
cool to hang out with.
You might have been smoking dope.
I do not remember that. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, you were smoking dope. You and John Cena smoking dope.
Why would I say that?
If you guys think John Cena is smoking dope, let me know. Let me know at OGJohnny5 on Twitter.
Yeah, let him know.
I think John Cena has definitely moved on to the heavy stuff. This Nikki Bella thing, or is this a storyline?
I don't know anymore. John Cena, ladies and gentlemen.
But moving into Survivor Series weekend, which I feel as though is a very successful weekend for the WWE in LA this weekend. I'd say so myself. You had two pretty good shows. Well, no, you had one great show. And you had a pretty good show. I think Survivor Series was a pretty good show. I gave it it's like a 7.5 show.
Yeah.
But Takeover was to me a really great show. I think one of the strongest takeovers of the year. In a year where I know a lot of people disagree when I said this. It was kind of like not as good as like other years takeovers, but your mileage may vary there. What did you think the match of the weekend was though overall before we start talking about everything else?
Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream.
You feel very strongly about that match. I wanted to ask you like why you feel so strongly about that match.
It's an amazing contest back and forth. I feel like I give them so much credit following Aleister Black and Johnny Gargano.
Oh yeah.
And putting on the type of match that they did in
a different match too. A different match.
Putting on the match that they did, getting the crowd. I had no expectations for this match. To me, I don't know what Tommaso Ciampa versus Velveteen Dream looks like on paper. But I feel like the theatrics, I feel like the story, I feel like, getting the crowd into it, even the near falls to a sense, getting the crowd so into this match. I was just like, they knocked it out. To me, they knocked it out the park. It was arguably, is obviously Velveteen Dream's best match, in my opinion. It might be Tommaso Ciampa's best match of the year, quite honestly, from an actual wrestling standpoint.
No, you're tripping.
What do you mean? Tommaso Ciampa, he had great matches with Johnny Gargano. I agree with that. But when in terms of just like, I feel like those are so heavy and story driven. And there's a lot of things going on between.
I am so confused by you saying that.
Because I feel like Ciampa and Dream was just like a great wrestling match. You know what I mean? And
I would put Gargano Ciampa 2 over that match any day of the week. I'd put to me shoo-in for top 3 match of the year. Gargano Ciampa Part 1, wrestling wise as well, better than that.
Nah.
What?
Nah. This was really good, bro.
I was watching the same match.
This was really, really good.
I don't think that it was better than any of the Gargano, not even maybe the third one, not the first or second one.
You know what? I have a problem with the first one because to me it went very, very long.
This match was long. It was 22 minutes.
That one went so much longer than that one. Hold on. I had a problem with the first match. Let me just finish what I'm saying. I had a problem with the first match because I felt like it went too long and there was so much like ridiculous stuff that happened. People were kicking out of insane stuff. To me,
he did the same thing, and Dream kicked out of everything in this match.
The elbow drop.
They both kicked out of all their shit in this match, bro.
No, but they ended up like finishing the match. So the first Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa match went almost 40 minutes. Right? So that one went 40 minutes. I thought that one went way too long, in my opinion. The second match also went close to 40 minutes. It's not that I'm, cutting it down because it went 40 minutes, but I just I enjoyed this match better. That's all I'll say. I enjoyed this match more.
That's fine, but don't say it's his best wrestling match of the year. It's not. Ratings will prove ratings will prove that.
I guess, ratings will prove that. I mean, people's, own subjective ratings will prove that. Yeah.
I think it's pretty much unanimous. I'm sorry, Meelz. I think it's pretty much unanimous that this is probably, if you want to keep it 100, maybe his top 3 matches, but not the best match he's had all year. And you know what? And I'm willing to give that to Ciampa because I feel as though he is, and I was gonna say this like in a larger sense of the show. Him and Gargano are like, they're the centerpieces of the show. Like, this is proven that they can get anyone over on that show. Anyone. This shit made you believe this made you believe Dream could win that title.
Yeah.
It takes 2 to do that.
That's what I like so much about that match.
What? But it's not a better struggle than the Gargano one, because even in the first one, you didn't think he was going to win that match. He had been exiled.
I had no expectations for the first one. I just knew it was going to be really, really good. And don't get me wrong, it was really, really good. I just felt like I enjoyed this match better. I feel like it's one of his best matches. All right, I probably won't say it's his best match of the year. I feel like it's definitely one of his best matches of the year. I'll say that.
Okay, all right. Agree to disagree. That's your match of the weekend. I have to say my match of the weekend is Bryan Brock. I think that's an all-timer in a way that the storytelling that you were looking for and the length of the match that you were looking for, perfect, perfect in both senses. And Daniel Bryan just being a complete and utter genius, and just the way that he sold everything, the way that he had everyone on the first 10 minutes of that match believing that he was dead.
I never believed it, but yes.
Listen, but here's the thing. Again, subjective. So it's like, if you didn't think that, that's fine, but you at least have to respect the fact that he was milking it to make people, the crowd was dead silent.
Oh yeah.
They were dead silent in that arena that night. I've never heard Staples so quiet in my life.
So the reason why I thought that match, well, the reason why I didn't believe it is because I know Daniel Bryan's been thinking about this match for the last 6 years of his life.
Yeah, well, of course you think about the practical stuff of it.
No, of course. Yeah. That's what's going through my head, because I think people were genuinely afraid, like, yo, he got dropped on his head. That nigga's done. But I was like, Daniel Bryan has been thinking about this match for so long. I feel like literally since the day Brock Lesnar came back and the day Daniel Bryan became WWE champion or world champion or something, he knew eventually their paths would cross. It was supposed to cross at SummerSlam 2014. That was supposed to end up being the 16 suplexes thing that John Cena ended up taking. It was supposed to cross then. It never got crossed. It literally took them over 4 years to get back to this point. And it literally only happened on a whim. I am on good authority that this was always going to happen this way. Okay, sure. It was always going to happen. But it literally happened, just kind of out of nowhere. There wasn't the grand, build up. There wasn't the underdog versus, Goliath. It was just.
Well, if you look back to the 2014 Cena match, that literally had like a 3-week build up to it. It wasn't really much either.
But this had no build up.
Didn't need one.
It was delivered. Yeah, I agree 100%. I'm just saying in terms of that, there was no build up to this match. So, but I know he's been thinking of this match for so long. And
okay, but what is that? Like, I'm lost as to like,
what's the point? I would like to finish the point. I feel he was thinking of this match for incredibly long. To me, he crafted the best match he could in his head over and over and over again. And I think this is a result of that. I think it was a great match. I think they both looked at each other's. I think Brock respects Bryan, obviously. And Bryan respects Brock immensely. And they wanted to have the best sort of, real thrilling match that they can. And this was it.
It's to me, the Morishima Bryan for 2018. If you've ever seen a Takeshi Morishima Bryan Danielson match from ROH, this was literally that. These are matches that Bryan had his orbital bone broken during the match, stuff like that. Like, obviously he's not going to do that now, doing those types of things hard way. But like, to me, just from the first 10 minutes of the match to the point where he had him in that yes lock for at least, I've never seen Brock sell that much for somebody that's small.
Red. I mean, I know you can't control that, but it's like, Oof.
Incredible. It's an incredible match from start to finish. I think of all the matches on that happened over the weekend, I went the full 5 on that, and I have no shame on doing that. I think Daniel Bryan is the GOAT, and we'll talk more about him a little bit later on the show. But NXT Takeover, Los Angeles War Games, whatever. Overall, your thoughts on the show?
Whew, okay, great.
Other than the match that we already talked about on there.
Great opening match. Getting the crowd hot. Matt Riddle knocking the hell out of Cassius Ohno. I thought it was an incredible way to start.
Great introduction for people who might not have seen him on NXT TV. I feel like he should have done that first match. Yeah. I feel as though they need to cut that match out of that episode of NXT and put a video package or something in that. This is how you introduce him to the audience, like this. The whole story is he is this lackadaisical, aloof type guy that doesn't really care about a lot of stuff. But when the bell sounds, he's a killer. Right. And I thought that was the perfect way to show that. And a lot of people were upset. They wanted an 18-minute match and blah, blah, blah. No, we're good. We don't need that. There's no time for that. I love the way that they, fooled us into believing it wasn't going to happen. Up to the point of the show actually starting. If you watch the pre-show, there was actually an altercation between Riddle and Ohno before the show started. Then the show starts, he comes out. Then 4-6 seconds, he knocked him out. Perfect.
I will never watch the NXT pre-show as long as they have that tool on the thing.
Oh, he's terrible.
Yeah, I will never watch the pre-show for NXT. When I see he's gone, I'm gonna. You can decide who you think it is, but I think everyone knows who I think.
Charlie Caruso, her face when he even talks is like, even Sam Roberts is like, and Sam Roberts is a cool guy.
Yeah.
Like I met him over in Orlando for the 2K event. Like he's a cool guy, a lot cooler than I initially had thought. But like you can tell he's like annoyed and just really put off by this guy. He needs to be cut from the panel. I know somebody back there loves him. Probably Triple H loves him. How did you feel overall about the Shayna Baszler, Kairi Sane match? It looks to be that they're going to extend this feud a little bit more. I don't know where you go from here with either of them, because if you're going to do like a 3-woman feud, like which they're looking like to do with Kairi, Io, and Dakota versus the 3 horsewomen of Shayna, Jessamine, and Marina. If that's going to go until at least the next takeover, if you think about it, so Bianca's going to have to wait a while.
I think they should just switch out to Io. I think the Kairi Sane part of this, feud is over, in my opinion.
I think they need to both go. I think both of them need to just, yes, I agree they need to be split apart. They don't need to be together.
Yeah, anymore. I don't think we need to see this match again, honestly. Not for a long time, if it does happen.
But I think that, overall as a whole, I think I know that they want to do this horsewoman stable.
I feel like, and I said it last week during the predictions, I feel like you definitely need time to build up this actual stable, to build up and I know they've been friends for a long time, but you build up that sort of, you build up that relationship with the audience. You build up their relationship in the ring and how they just do things with one another. I mean, I remember the initial stages of the New Day. New Day was a thing for 6 months before we ever saw them on TV. And they were just kind of perfecting their relationship and perfecting, I'm thinking of another word, but I can't think of it right now. But they were just perfecting how they all interacted with one another. So it's genuine, so how it's real and it flows and everything like that. That's what I think they need time for in NXT, which is why if they're doing this with Shayna, I feel like they need to at least keep him. If Shayna is just left him high and dry, I would be like, what happened?
Well, I'm just like, all right, I don't want her to be beating people that shouldn't be getting beat by her right now. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know who I'm talking about. Like, I don't think Bianca should be losing to her. I don't think Io should be losing to her. I think, again, we're running into like the same problem that we had with Asuka, because they don't want to put more than one women's feud on these shows.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's either Kairi or Shayna at the top now. And now it's like these other women are here, and it's like, okay, well, they need feuds too. And you don't put more than one women's match on takeovers. So like, what are we going to do? Like, they need to really shake up takeovers. And hey, if they got to be longer, I don't think anyone would complain about that.
No.
Like, I think right now, I want them to go because they are, again, clogging up the top of the card. And if there's no other women's title, like a tag team title or something like that, then a lot of the women are like stagnated and wrestling Lacey Evans for like the 16th time.
This is true.
Or Nikki Cross, who's far beyond needing to leave that show.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, you know what? I thought it was a great match nonetheless.
Great match.
I thought it was a great match, very succinct. I thought the falls are creative. I love the end spot. I love, you know,
fast match, very fast match.
Yeah. I could tell from the first couple moments of the match that this was going fast, just by the pace.
Yeah. 11 minutes, and Shayna got the cheapy non-clean win. I do think they do one more of these matches, at least on TV.
Yeah, they'll probably go on TV. I think they should have a cage match. I mean, to me, this builds up to a cage match if they really want to keep everyone out.
It's very old school. It's very old school in the way that they're doing this. Very like Flair-ish.
Yeah.
And I know that look who's booking it. Terry Taylor, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels. They're booking the fucking matches. So next match, Johnny Gargano versus Aleister Black.
Whew.
Boy, listen.
That was an experience.
From start, and I said that, I think I tweeted this, I was like, at least they didn't start with rest holds. I don't think there was like a single rest hold in this match.
Listen, I don't think they slowed down the pace in this match. Well, I'm just as impressed as the match they created, but I'm more impressed of how they kept up that pace for so long, because it was really blow for blow for a very long time. Like blow for blow. I'm hitting you, I'm hitting me. This is a spot. We're going here. We're going there. We're going that. And they made it all work. And especially the final moments of the match.
Oh man.
Fantastic. I mean, Aleister Black looks as good, maybe even better than he was before the injury.
He looks a lot leaner. Mm-hmm. I will say that much. I thought he moved a lot quicker in the ring. I thought he actually was conveying a lot more. The crowd really seemed to miss him. And he has been pretty much off of, I think, the live events too. Mm-hmm. No, he hasn't been because I know that I think Mark or Cyrus saw him at a house show or a live event a couple of weeks ago. But they really seem to miss him because he has been off TV. He hasn't been there. But like even just the kicks, the strikes, he did a tope. And again, this is a testament to Johnny Gargano. He was able to craft or help craft a match where you got the maximum amount of Aleister Black's offense, but you still got to see how the change of himself was getting over. He was a very different wrestler this time around. And I thought that got over really well. I really love this match. I think it was probably my favorite match on the show.
I still don't think Gargano's a heel.
After this, I don't know. I think he's just crazy.
Yeah. I still think like it was, to me, it ended the way it ended, where it was like, you just need to get your ass kicked. And he got it kicked more tenfold.
I loved it. I really did love, and I think a lot of people loved it. I know people hate the acting, but when you got Johnny Gargano, like that's what you're gonna get. I really like the Aleister Black, I absolve you of your sins, and he gives him the black mass. This spot, top 5 spot of this year, he gives him the spinning knee, then he gives him the black mass. Johnny lands on him. He picks him up with his foot and gives him the black mass. He caught him with the foot. I keep saying that shit. He caught him with the foot. That was fire.
That's some Chris Brown shit.
That's exactly. We already talked about Ciampa Dream. I think obviously we both think very highly of the match. War Games is something that I was not so hot on.
I knew I wasn't going to be. The match doesn't start for like 25 minutes. You have action in the ring, but there's nothing you can do about it because you have to wait till everyone gets in the ring for it to actually begin. And then when everyone does get in the ring, it's kind of a clusterfuck of like, we're all trying to get our spots off and things like that. Mm-hmm. I checked out during this match, obviously. I knew for the first 15 minutes of this match, I wasn't going to see a fall. I wasn't going to see any sort of peril. I just knew dudes were just going to be kicking and punching and getting beat down. So I kind of tuned out for the beginning, like first 20 minutes of this match. The next 20, still kind of rough to me, but it picked up towards the end.
Yeah. After I think the Avalanche spot, It got better. I think it should have just started with that.
It's too long to do that. Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, to me, I think this should be obvious to anyone. They were protecting the shit out of Pete Dunne during this whole match. Obviously, Pete Dunne has a foot injury that he's had for a couple of months, and they wanted to keep him off of it. They did a lot of really interesting and intuitive and really annoying, as not just for him, but as the crowd or people watching at home. A lot of annoying things to keep him out the match, and he just wasn't moving as crisp as you usually see him. And I don't think he's been right for a while, and I think he needs to take a break. But I don't think they know really how to drop that title off of him right now, because there's no like show to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure they taped UK shows with him.
Well, he's not on the second set of taping, so he's not going to be on that show until at least next year.
Poof.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know what they're going to do with that belt. I would have them drop it at the next tapings. The next NXT tapings are, I think, this week.
Yeah.
Next week. They're next week, I think.
But do you want to have someone who has a UK championship and they have a UK show to drop the belt on a non-UK show?
He's defended it on there before.
Yeah, but he defended it. I feel like he defended it before there was a UK show. So now there's an actual space where this title actually matters, instead of it being like kind of floating around in the universe. Now it's a place where they're dedicated talent towards this championship. It would feel weird to me if he dropped it on regular NXT TV.
Honestly,
and then somehow someone contended for it on NXT TV and then moved over to NXT UK. It would feel weird.
Honestly, I just want him to drop it so he can just move up and move away from the belt. I think he's done everything he needs to do with that belt. Had an amazing run. I think he's a great character. I'm ready to see him not be in NXT anymore in any way, shape, or form. I just want him to move up.
I agree.
Honestly. Survivor Series. Actually, no, I'm sorry. We didn't even finish talking about War Games. I mean, that was a really cool spot where they walked towards each other. I thought it was cool.
It was interesting. It was hokey, in my opinion.
The Faces won. Hokey, but you love the Ciampa Dream match, which had literally all the car crash shit from like Attitude Era plus the acting.
What are you talking about? Them completely beat up and then deciding, we're gonna meet up in the center of the ring and we're just gonna scream. Like, come on, like
that shit was fire.
The Velveteen Dream thing is theatrics of the dream. It's just the dream, baby. Come on.
Oh my god, I think that you really love that match because
I really do,
because Dream was in it.
No, that's not the reason why. They literally made me believe that he was going to win. There's a certain thing that takes me out of the experience that it's a wrestling match and puts me into making me feel like a kid again, and that's kind of how that match did, because it just, from me, it just like it popped me because I just felt like a kid again. I felt like someone who was excited for, yes, I was excited for the dream, but it was essentially just took me out of the space and just like, oh, he could win. Where instead of me thinking like, oh, he's going to win because, you know, blah, 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 blah. It just took me out of it, you know?
Sure.
No, all right. Come on. I don't downplay your...
I didn't downplay. I didn't downplay. If I were to downplay it, I say whatever. I say sure. I don't have anything else
I
to
say sure. That is my thing.
Did you guys hear this guy?
All right.
Anyway, Survivor Series. I don't want to go through all of this show because
I love the women's match. I said it would steal the show, in my opinion.
What women's match? The 5-on-5?
Hell no. What are you talking about?
I was about to say.
Run to Charlotte. What the hell? No.
Of course. Yeah. I'm skipping right. I was like, yo, and if
I'm skipping a whole lot on this show.
The women's 5-on, before we even get to that, the women's 5-on-5 had a lot of potential that was squandered to me as soon as like Mandy was put in that match. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they kind of
they made that match really bad. I think that Sonya and Mandy and a lot of the people on team. No, listen, it's like this. No one cared about anyone on any of these teams but Sasha Bailey and Asuka, Naomi, and Carmella.
And maybe Nia Jax at this point.
Well, she got X-Pac go away heat on that show.
You think so?
Yeah. I think that's gonna follow her.
It's heat though. It's good heat too. In my opinion, it's good heat. Like it's like, and I'm saying that like in my opinion, it's like if you have this situation and you legit broke someone's face and everyone is mad because you broke someone's face and they're legit mad at you. It's not like mad because you suck. It's mad because you hurt someone that we love. That's like good heat, in my opinion.
I'm not disagreeing.
It's not like, damn. I mean, yes, in one it's like, oh, she fucks up way too much. But you're mad. No one was mad at her fucking up before. Everyone was mad at her breaking Becky's face.
Well, a lot of the unsafe stuff people probably chalked up to botches before we found out that she was legitimately concussing and hurting folk.
Yeah.
So I think that's a difference. It was tangible to us this time.
It makes it so much interesting. I'm glad people are vociferously booing Nia Jax, because
after being like pretty much like indifferent to her for like 2 years.
It's like, come on, like she was the big nasty person. It was like, are we really booing like Nia Jax? She should be booed, but now to me it's like, now is the time where you turn it up. To me, in my opinion, now's the time when you turn it up. You say, oh, you're booing her now, let's make you boo her even more. You're gonna hate Nia Jax now.
And they did that, and I thought that they did a really good job of like creating heat for her during the match so that she could come in and win the way that she did. I don't think that I thought that the way that she won was fine. I just think that the middle part of that match, especially with like Sonya Deville and Mandy, who aren't exactly like up there with a lot of the women there yet. And it's cool that they were put in that spotlight and they were given a lot of storyline time too, just to show off their breakup angle. But I don't think no one really cares about Sonya Deville in that crowd. And it kind of killed the match. And I think that you should have swapped some of those eliminations and just had them go first, and you would have had a hotter match.
You had Naomi go out first, which was like... Oof.
Exactly. I would have had Sonya go out first, and then Mandy, because she was mad at Sonya or whatever. And then you have the match as it went. Because I think that people really love those 3 central characters. I just think that whoever booked that had the idea wrong of who should stay in longer. But yes, Charlotte and Ronda to me was tremendous match. Even before the turn, I guess we're gonna talk about that turn as well. Even before that, it was just tremendous.
To me, in my opinion, you can always tell when Charlotte's gonna have a good match by the pace. But the way she's bouncing around the ring when she starts, because this one wasn't just like, oh, we're about to have a wrestling match. It seemed like a battle for survival, and it seemed like a battle for like who is like better than who.
She gave Ronda her best match. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you,
it was physical.
Apologize to that woman.
I ain't apologizing. I knew what she is.
I had to do that. I'm not talking to you.
All right,
I'm not talking to you.
All right,
I'm not talking to you. I'm saying some people got to apologize to her, man. She did the damn thing. And to me right now, as it stands, she got 3 match of the year contenders. That puts her up there with people like Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa. Your mileage may vary, but Kenny Omega. 3 match of the year contenders to me. The Asuka match, the Becky match from a month ago, and this match right here.
This match was physical. This match had emotion. It was intense, which I absolutely love. This one, it told a story. Especially towards the end. I mean, if they really wanted to get heat on Nia Jax should be the one who beat the shit out of Ronda Rousey. But they're obviously going in a different direction with Charlotte Flair.
They're going to find, and I hate to be jumping ahead here, they're going to find a way to do that at Rumble. They're going to find a way to do it.
Do you think the direction they're going with Charlotte will undercut where they're also going with Becky?
No. You think you have to do something there. You have to do something.
They have to meet up at some point, you're saying.
Yeah, and not only that, but like with Charlotte, you have to, if you're gonna do that, this is probably the storyline they had. And they're just moving it to now.
To me, they haven't fully explored. Yeah, I agree. To me, they haven't fully explored why Charlotte acted the way that she did.
And you can't yet because Becky's not back. And they're on separate shows. I don't think this undercuts Becky. Becky can't be on the show. I think when Becky comes back, her heat will not be lost. I think when Becky comes back, she will still be the most popular character on the show.
Do you think this is Charlotte turning heel or her?
We'll talk about that on SmackDown because I have a couple thoughts about that.
Okay, but I love the match.
Yeah, I love the match too. I thought the men's match was middling to solid. I thought Nakamura and Seth they did the best that they could, or Seth did the best that he could with what he had. He willed that match to be at least 4 stars in my opinion.
I had a dream that SmackDown was gonna get sweet before this show started,
and I'm waiting to see what the storyline purpose was. What was that for? There was no mention of it. Well, other than like the New Day, there was no mention of like the Sweet. Like Shane didn't do anything.
Yeah,
like there was no mention of anything of the sort. He had like this tweet saying that some things needed to change, and literally nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Maybe they just, you know what? We'll talk about it on the show.
Let's move on to Raw. Terrible episode of Raw.
Bad PU. My God.
The top of the card of Monday Night Raw.
Why would you start that match that way? Why would you start it that way? Why would you start?
So the idea was this, right? Let's just think of the thought process here. And this lets me know that everyone was tired. So Baron Corbin comes out and it's said that, you know, him and Braun are going to have a TLC match, PU, where if Braun wins, he gets Brock at Royal Rumble. And if Baron wins, he gets the full control of Monday Night Raw as permanent GM. Cool, whatever. It's been leading to that. That's fine.
Yeah.
So Baron says, I still got power. How about I do a handicap match with who was it supposed to be? Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Handicap match. And Stephanie says, nah, we're not going to do that. We're going to make it
what?
Like, huh? What? A 6-man? When did you become a face? Anyway, so it's Finn Balor, Elias, okay, versus those three. Finn Balor and Elias on Braun's side versus the Baron Corbin and the other two. Finn Balor, it's an elimination match, by the way, against the final three people of the team of the night before. So Finn Balor is eliminated. Elias is eliminated like 2 minutes after. This is an hour-long match if you're counting TV time. It ends up being a handicap match anyway.
Bruh.
Why?
Why did we start it like this? Why?
Also,
they were probably tired. I'll give them that. But
I'll give them that.
Why
and then
you do it this way?
You do a long closing angle. The match also doesn't have a finish. There's just a long closing angle.
It's an elimination match that goes an hour without a finish.
Long closing angle where they literally injure Big Show. Or not Big Show, I'm sorry, but same dude. Ooh. Same dude at this point. And send him on his way, because I'm pretty sure he's not gonna be on the show next week. I'm 80% sure he's not gonna be on that show next week. And if he is,
where do we go if he's not on the show?
You gotta go Finn. He's the only person with beef with every one of them.
I'm sure they're expecting that Braun will be back. So if Finn is on the show, Finn is getting beat again to set up for Braun. Because the way they've set everything up here is just
the top of the card. And listen, I get it, but this is post Roman Raw. Y'all wanted him gone. I know you didn't want him in this way to be gone, but a lot of people were like, well, what? Let's see if Roman's not on top. There's a power vacuum. There's a literal power vacuum. Not even a power vacuum. It's just like there's no one built up, and they don't even seem interested in building anyone up there. It's the same shit in the women's division. The same reason why you got Ruby Riott facing fucking Natalya. Like, for what? For what? You've got people there. Sasha and Bayley are there. Meelz, they're there. It just doesn't make any sense. And you know, I'm usually the optimist here. What I saw in Raw is frightening. There is not another shakeup until April.
Yuck.
There is not another shakeup until April. What are your Mania matches right now, Meelz?
I don't know. I don't have one. It's all terrible.
What are your Mania matches?
I don't know. I'm not going. So
what?
I don't know.
What is your Intercontinental match? What's that look like?
It's Seth versus Dean.
At this point, right? But hold on, Meelz. At this point, you got to give the belt to one of those guys, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're
the most popular guys on the show.
To me, I would give the Universal Championship needs to become a Dean or Seth Rollins type of deal. Yeah, listen, if Braun's gone, or give it a Ronda Rousey, shit.
You gotta pull an audible here with that program and have somehow like Seth loses the title and then he moves on to Brock or something like that. Or you do a 3-way with Brock, Seth, Dean, at Royal Rumble. If Braun can't go, because you got to change it. You got to change the match.
God.
It's a like the whole top of the card on Raw is a complete mess. It's almost I get some type of weird joy out of watching to see how they actually put these shows together now.
It's weird. They should have
no top guy.
Yeah, no top guys. No top guys.
We talked about Nia Jax and her fist. She to me, as much as she's getting this heat,
if they wanted to do something with the top of the card, highlight the women way more. You have a full.
They should. They're better.
Yeah. You have Sasha, you have Bayley, you have Ronda, you have Nia. You might as well just go the distance with them for the time being until
you've got Ember Moon doing main event.
Yeah,
like what?
Might as well go the distance. I mean,
what are you doing?
Natalya versus Ruby Riott almost main evented Raw, but
it did. It was the last match. It main evented.
Yeah, but then Dean came on and
that wasn't a match. That's the main event match.
Closed the show.
Do you feel as though Ron or Nia in this fist thing that she's been doing is like she? Even remember when you said she always feels like she doesn't feel like doing or saying what they write for her?
I felt like that in a particular program. Yes,
I feel like she. Now that you said that, and I notice it all the time to a point where like when she did this fist thing on Raw, like when she was like facing off against Ronda after that weird.
Yeah, she probably didn't feel it.
Can we talk about the weird Ronda Rousey segment? Where she ranted and it sounded like an incel manifesto.
Why is she not hurt? Why is she not? She got her neck stomped on with a chair wrapped around it. She got beat up by a kendo stick. She's
got hit with a chair and shit. Like
she should be done.
She then they made you wait a commercial break for her to face Mickie James in 3 minutes. This Raw is terrible.
This Raw is bad.
Do we have to keep talking? Well, hold on. I gotta get to the Nia Jax part. They're facing off, and she does this head turn. And she like
it's like a fake out.
It's like a fake out, and then she puts her fists up and like dusts her fists off. And remember, it was like you always said she just doesn't feel like she wants to do anything. And I was just like, how do you have? You're the most hated you've ever been. You have the most reactions you've ever gotten in your career. And you can't even sell this one thing, and that is that you broke someone's face. It just doesn't like you want to do it.
It's just
this was a terrible episode of Raw. I thought the strongest thing on the show was the Seth and Dean stuff that kind of bookended the whole show. I thought the last segment was really good. The last segment was very good.
The segments throughout the night I wasn't a fan of. Them not getting. Them playing that cat and mouse game for the entire show didn't make any sense to me. To me, just do the last segment. I don't need him not finding him and then him giving up and then him coming back and then him doing all this other stuff. But I'm sure they had time to fill it all, so it's like whatever.
So there was a line that Dean said in his initial promo at the top of the night, where he was saying that he believed that what was happening to the Shield was part of the sins that, it was all them repaying the sins they did while they were, murdering people on Raw and SmackDown and stuff like that. One of the lines he said was, I guess this is what Roman's basically having to face because, basically alluding to his cancer. I'm saying it all wrong. Of course, it's not exactly what he said. It's sort of like he said, they all have to pay for the sins they committed while they were the Shield. And he proposed that maybe what happened to Roman with his leukemia was part of that. It got a very audible gasp from the crowd. I don't see a lot of people talking about it today, but a lot of people were talking about it the night of. Do you feel as though that was over?
People weren't paying attention to Raw because it was probably bored out their minds.
It was like top of the second hour, but
after that, feel like it was over of Braun. Ugh.
Do you feel like it was over the line at all, or? At first I was like, oh, and then I was like,
you know what?
In the context of what Dean was doing, like you had to get the whole night out the way. You know what I'm saying? To understand why what that meant to him.
You know what? For me, I'll say this in terms of how I personally feel, as opposed to like what it should be. I wasn't offended by it, just because I know it's not something that he genuinely said. I I think it's just a part of a script, a part of a show thing. I wasn't truly offended by it. I don't think, but my parameter for how distasteful things are really it's different than most people, because I have a dark sense of humor. But and not that this is funny. It's just that I just didn't take it as fully offensive. I know what type they've done this before, so I'm not even, and they've done worse before. So it's not anything that sort of surprised me. Right. Even when we had that, situation 10 years ago when Eddie died and Randy Orton is like, and you're going to be somewhere you said it's Rey Mysterio and it's like dead, just like Eddie. And I mean, I was 10 years younger then. I don't even think I fully, it kind of, for me, reacted the sort of same way. It's just like, dang, this is the script. And this is part of a show. And I think both of those wrestlers would understand. I don't think they're doing anything disgraceful to their family or anything like that. I think they're they're doing stuff to build a program and build a story. So I wasn't truly offended by it. Just long story short, I wasn't offended by it.
Yeah, I think I said this before, like it plays into Dean's delusion. And I think we finally understand where they're going with his storyline here. He's delusional. Yeah, he thinks that what he did was correct, even though he's gone off the deep end and he's looking for reasons to kind of connect and figure that out.
Right.
And I thought that the last segment, he's a really good heel. It's been way too long. I think with a lot of these turns they've done, a lot of people have been upset.
Smell, bro.
What is that smell? He needs to just bring that back every week. What is that smell? It was
just LA, maybe.
All right, chill out. But I thought it was a really meaningful segment. There's no stipulation for the title match they have at TLC, but I think it should be a ladder match. I'll say that much. It should be a ladder match.
I think they don't want to give away a stipulation too early.
Yeah, because these two might be in the main event. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I don't think they want to give away a stipulation to it. And they've done it all.
Haven't they had a TLC match?
I don't know if they've had a TLC match, but I feel like they definitely had a ladder match at some point.
TLC. They have had a TLC match. They've done a TLC match. I know that. I knew it.
At TLC?
They have to have, right?
I don't think so. I think they've
no. I'm thinking of the Shield. I'm thinking of the Shield match. I think of the Shield match. They've had a Hell in a Cell.
They've had a Hell in a Cell. They've had a ladder match. Yeah, they had a ladder match in 2015. I remember it specifically.
Yeah, there's not much. There's not much they can do.
Yeah.
But let's go into SmackDown and wrap this up real proper. Like, first off, Miz and Meelz. Are they turning this guy? That segment was weird.
Yes, they are turning him.
They kind of had to, right?
After Daniel Bryan, yes, that asshole.
How do you feel about this? I am not on board. I'm not on board.
Miz is a likable guy.
This segment was just really annoying. So do they turn Miz to turn Shane? Is that what you're thinking?
Oh, shit, I don't even know. You know what? Part of me thinks like, oh, Miz could turn back like that. Like he could just beat up Shane McMahon or something like that, or try to
he's an idiot on SmackDown this week. He's usually not this dumb.
The Miz?
Yes.
He was. Granted, his best work is going to be as a heel. That's just it. But people like the Miz, whether they want to admit it or not. People like.
All right,
Miz.
Get to the point.
People cheer the Miz. What are you talking about? I'm not saying anything that's crazy. People are cheering the Miz every week. I hear the cheers. I'm like, where were you guys before? But you know what? Fuck it. Whatever.
Oh boy.
But people generally, I do think he's a face. There was a clip that the Staples Center put up on Twitter, which said, no, you guys are awesome. And it was the Miz thanking everyone for being a part of SummerSlam week, Survivor Series weekend, and thanking the city of LA and all this other stuff. So I do think he's a face, or they're at least transitioning him to be a face currently at this point, which I don't think is the most terrible idea because he's faced all the faces on the brand and people want to cheer him anyway. And
I don't know about that.
He can't thing with Daniel Bryan anyway, that asshole.
Weird segment there with Shane, though. Nothing actually solved. I don't think they're going to do anything like that until next week, I would think.
Yeah, let's wait and see how it happens.
Yeah, it was a weird segment. This seemed like a really tired show to me. Charlotte Flair and the Shades of Grey. We brought this up a little bit last time, or not last time, but a couple of minutes ago. But Charlotte cut a promo where it seemed as though she was going to go the other way. Mm-hmm. Then she went the other way,
dropping Eminem lyrics in her IG post and Drake lyrics, and
like she cut a face promo, a complete face promo, and there's a Shades of Grey there. I think a lot of people are confused. I think a lot of people probably need to wait and see. But I count myself as one of the people that when they saw that promo and they saw this segment, they were confused.
I'm confused because to me, why are we making Charlotte an edgy character?
She doesn't need to be.
She doesn't need to be. And there's already an edgy character. That's why I asked the question is like, is this going to get in the way to Becky thing? Because to me,
they're different to me.
I know, I completely know they're different. But in a sense, it's like the company has always been, a supporter of Charlotte Flair. And granted, yes, they're doing this because Becky's out. And a lot of this has to be done because Becky's out. But also in a sense, it's just like you're having this big transformation with Charlotte Flair, someone who is, a top person in the company. You just came out of a large program. You're spinning this off into God knows what you're spinning this off to, while at the same time you're doing a Becky Lynch thing. And Becky Lynch is going to cool down for a little bit. That just happens when you're off the show for a bit of time. So she's going to cool down for a little bit. They're going to come back, and it's kind of, you got to sort of.
Here's my thing. I don't think, I just interrupt you. I don't think Becky's cooling off. There were Becky chants on Monday. Yeah. Becky chants on Tuesday. I think there will be Becky chants next Tuesday. I'm iffy about Raw, but they're in Wisconsin. But I do not think Becky's cooled off. Continue.
I feel like it's just, I don't think we need to turn her. To me, the focus should be Becky.
It will be.
The focus should be Becky. The Charlotte thing, I get it. I don't think she needs to be an edgy sort of anti-Shades of Grey. What are we doing? Who signed the she aligned with, etc. type of thing. I think she's just as good being Charlotte Flair.
Here's what they
need to explain what's going on though.
Here's what they shouldn't do. They shouldn't have them team up to face the Iconics. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't be teaming up
for anything. I don't want them teaming up.
Also, we back to summertime Charlotte with that Iconics backs. Both of them. We're back to summertime Charlotte.
I don't want them I don't want Charlotte or Becky teaming up. I feel like you keep them apart.
That's what I'm saying. They shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
They shouldn't do that. But I am concerned as to who Becky gets at TLC, though. If that is going to be a thing. They've got 3 weeks, and I think the Iconics tag match might be that thing. Which is
I would have to wait and see. Peyton and Billy might have just been a casualty of
and what a casualty. What a fucking casualty of that.
A casualty of whatever is going on right now.
But I don't think this is gonna hinder Becky. But I think the thing is you have to do something. And Charlotte they had to speed up the Brooke and Charlotte storyline. This is literally what was about to happen probably in that women's match. Remember, she was refusing to be in it.
Yeah.
So this is probably, they had to speed it up. So you had to get to there, you had to go here. I do think that we are on the road to Charlotte and Ronda at Rumble. And I think the way that you get there, you make Ronda lose to Nia at TLC. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I think she's gonna lose.
Ronda at the Rumble.
Mm-hmm. They don't need a belt. But the thing about it is they can't be in the Rumble if they do that. The storyline with Becky winning the Royal Rumble, which I really do agree with you, Meelz, like that should be the way that it goes. It's in danger right now unless she really gets Charlotte again at TLC. And she loses.
I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, it's listen, I have some type of carnal weird joy about how they're going to book this to get these matches to go the way that they want them to, because obviously you got to have it happen, and Ronda hasn't moved shows. But Daniel Bryan, how about Daniel Bryan?
That was an artistic promo. To me, it was art.
He's
speaking to his former self.
that was to me one of the most incredible. You compare two people that had heel introduction promos this week. You had Dean, and you had I wouldn't say it's kind of like an introduction. We'd already known he was, but he gave more of an insight on why. Mm-hmm. Dean and Brian. Dean's was a great promo. Brian's
unhinged, but yeah.
Brian's was almost lucid.
Yeah.
And literally, like, he believed already in everything that he was talking about. Flipping the fight for your dreams thing. Wow. Like, I commend him for doing that. And and you know what's crazy about it? It all made sense. His dream was what? To win the title. So he took his dreams and threw them and kicked him in the balls.
Right.
It was incredible. I think that Daniel Bryan in just 1 week, he flipped the switch and he's the best again. Flip the switch and he's the greatest of all time again. And I really love that promo. I'm all for it. Whatever comes next. AJ Styles not on the show, not on Survivor Series, gone. What do you? There's been rumors that he's looking for a reduced schedule for his re-signing. It's been 3 years, man, since he signed with WWE. He's looking to re-sign in January. Do you think that this is he's going to resign, or you think it's going to be a problem, or you think they're going to send him off? What do you think is going to happen?
He's resigning. I know that for sure.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere. Whether they should give him a lighter schedule, they probably don't want to, but
they have to.
They kind of have to.
Yeah, they have to. He's got to go. As for the rest of SmackDown, you had a New Day.
We don't need to talk about the rest of SmackDown.
We need to talk about it. Nothing else happened on that show. And that's pretty much it for this week in wrestling. We're barreling towards the holiday season, in the end of the year. It should be interesting to see where Raw goes, I hope, next week. But as for us,
I say that every Raw, and then I sit down and watch it. I'm like, why did I?
Hey man,
why did I watch it on YouTube?
It's better than watching Being the Elite. So yeah, until next week, Meelz. Hey man, Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Thank you again. I'm thankful for this show. Thankful for you being my co-host, brother.
I appreciate that. I'm thankful for the same, my guy.
We're gonna be all into lots of food that's going to make us sleepy and hopefully a lot fatter. I don't know about Meelz. You're on like some type of a cycle. I don't know if you're cycling off the HGH this week.
No.
No, still in it.
Yep. I'm fine. No, I'm gonna eat until I can't eat anymore.
But until next week, as always, you can follow us at RNC Radio Live for more shows and more information and podcasts and playlists. We release the November RNC Radio next month, which should be coming out in the next couple of days, right?
The RNC Radio?
Yeah.
For December.
The best of, right?
The best of will be coming at the top of December.
Top of December, yes.
It's going to be the top of December. If you want to find out what is going to be the best songs of the year that we pick, all of us is picking. I'm making sure that everyone picks. I want everyone to pick their favorite things. Even if you pick one, I want everyone. But yes,
I think I filled up the list, man. I filled it up.
We need everyone. So yes, we have that to look forward to. So please look forward to that. We did a double shot of 2 Belts over the last 2 weeks. So that's myself and Carlos. You can listen to that on, 2 Belt SoundCloud. We did, there's still a Lookout episode you can, listen to as well. I think Perfect Play now on hiatus. There's there's 30 episodes of Perfect Play. You can run back. RSPN is new every week. Late Fees. We just had the amazing wrestling episode.
Did you listen to it?
I have not listened to it yet.
Okay. Let me know what you feel after you listen to it.
Gotcha. We talked about Ready to Rumble and The Wrestler.
Yes. With Jin Yamato from LA Times.
That was incredible.
Yeah. We just have everything.
Yeah.
Until next week, happy Turkey Day, everybody. Be safe out there. Don't do anything that I wouldn't do or Meelz would do. Until next time, hey, for the Asia, I almost said for Late Fees. Which is crazy. That would have been just ridiculous. I'm getting the shows made. We're like ready for the holidays. But until next time, for Meelz, I'm Justin. Peace out.
Happy Rusev Day.